So what we're going to do first, just to understand the lay of the land, is start a poll, just to understand, who in this webinar already using the dashboards that we're going to go through, and if you're not using them, or kind of why you want to be using them. So a poll is going to come up on your screen here and just let us know kind of how advanced you are with the dashboards that we're going through. And let me here jump in. So we're going to start off with our booked fees dashboards, and I'm going to let Chris take you through this one. Chris, over to you.
Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well today, and thanks for joining. So yeah, let's start off with booked fees. So booked fees is one of the dashboards that I love to demo because you get 4 main reports within this fee dashboard. You get your booked fees, your fee splits, your leaderboard, and your job flows. So with your booked fees within the fees report, you can view the total fees from your current month to date, last month, previous month, 3 months ago, and 1 year ago. It will also show you the percentage increase and decrease from previous months as well. You can view a table view showing the actual versus target fees. You can choose to view this over the last 12 rolling months or calendar year, and whether you'd like to view monthly, quarterly, or annual figures by selecting from these tabs. So Amy, if you just wanted to hover on top of those columns as well, just to give a bit of an indication of the breakdown there. You can also view the totals for the totals selected in the table above by averages and the targets up the top here as well. Finally, at the bottom of the fees report is a full breakdown of all the fees made, showing the candidate name, the job name, the company, job type, job owner, candidate owner, book date, margin fee, start date, and end date, if it's a contract temp, and then the sub status and cost of sales as well. If you'd like to, you can filter down the information in this page. You can use the filters at the top right-hand corner, and you can filter by date, locations, groups, consultants, or job categories, and so forth. So it sort of just runs down there just to really own in on your report.
Yeah, so basically this is a one-stop. This is just a one-stop shop. So every placement that you make inside the system is going to be pulled through onto this dashboard. So you're going to be able to see, what percentage of your business is contract, which is perm, but also importantly, if you are running that contract book, how many renewals you're running and how much of your business is coming from renewed business compared to that new business that you're bringing in. So a really great report to keep an eye on, because you're going to be able to see your splits just by coming into here and making the placement in the front office. So come through into here, run the filters, look at it by a consultant, by a team, and look at it over different time periods and just see that growth from a business perspective from compared to last year compared to this year.
Cool. Thanks for that, Amy. Amy, do you want to just scroll up to the top to the fee splits tab for us? Thank you. So the fee splits tab, this report gives you the splits from the placement details and retainer invoices. If there is a profit split, if the profit split is empty on the placement details, it'll be tracked against the job owner. So if you just look deep into there, you can see where the splits are at. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially even 5 splits in there. Amy, let's jump into the,
PS,
oh yeah, sorry, go on.
So if it's PS, it means it's a profit split. If you see JO, that means that the job owner has got the entirety of that placement revenue. And if it's CO, it will be candidate owner. So you'll be able to come into here, again, use the filters on the right-hand side to dissect as you need to, but a really great report to come into here and just see, what revenue is being generated by which team and by which individual.
It's always fun having you on these webinars, Amy. You always get to put in that little extra bit that I miss out on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Well, we need it, right? Thanks. So with the next tab is the leaderboard. So the leaderboard report is really a clear visual way of seeing which of your consultants are bringing in the most revenue. So sort of actual versus target. There's also a breakdown of total fees, number of consultants, fees per consultant, total placements, both perm and temp, and then placements per consultant on and revenue targets as well.
Yeah, so what this report is showing you is all of those unique billers that you've got in your system. So each consultant that is generating revenue for you, what their split is between perm and temp, and also if they're running a contract book, what percentage of their business is renewals. But at a management level, what we're seeing here is what percentage of your team are hitting what percentage of their target and above. So a really great tool to be able to manage, middle of the quarter or the month, seeing where each of your team members are lying in that percentage, but also having a hover over here to see, what that breakdown is. All of the information sits in these tables, so you'll be able to see on a month-by-month basis, what was actually booked compared to the target and the splits of that. So what was a placement, which was retained, how many consultants were generating that revenue, and then the fees per billing consultant as well. So again, all of this information is being split out for you purely because you've put the information on the placement report in the front office of Vincere. But again, a really great tool to be able to come in and see where that revenue is being generated from.
Awesome. Amy, could you just jump into the job flow tab for us now? Cool. So the job flow report is to do with the number of placements made compared with the number of jobs put on the system. So key information on this report includes, your percentage of jobs placed. So your jobs placed versus jobs opened, average days to placement, percentage of average jobs placed in a time period that can be altered in the filters, number of new jobs that month, and then job flow, which is the number of new jobs added onto Vincere minus total jobs closed in that time period. What you can do is you can hover the mouse over the graph to view the breakdown again. So it breaks it all down for you in all the placements that you've made, and then with the total jobs that you've closed and not placed, and then jobs closed and new jobs and job flow.
Yes. So
at the end of this report. No, sorry, go on, Amy.
Me again, throwing my opinion around. So what this is showing you is, yes, it's great. Your percentage fill rate is 80%. It's brilliant, but we want to be able to replenish your pipeline. So, every job that you close off, you're replenishing it with more. So you're keeping busy and keeping your pipeline active throughout the rest of the quarter or for the rest of the year. So another great one to keep an eye on and make sure you're not just closing off everything. I mean, closing and placing a job is great, but then being able to do that business development and replenish what you're working on to ensure that you're going to hit target for the rest of the quarter or the year.
Awesome. Amy, if you just want to scroll down, because at the end of this report is a table view showing a breakdown of the information that's in the graph. So if you're not really a graph reader and you just want to see it in the table, you've got all the information and it sits right in there.
Yeah, really good. And again, you can benefit from the filters here. So have a look at a particular team's placement rate compared to their job flow rate, an individual, or you can even do it by industry if you wanted to. So I know last year, a lot of people would have had to, expand into industries or, cover a few more that they weren't familiar with. And it would be good to, look back and see the progression as a business. So what was your closure rate last year compared to this year, and how many industries are you operating against as well if you did have to diversify? So definitely take a look at this. A great one is that you can actually do this by booked or start date as well. So whether you as a business register placements when you book them, or if it's a contract when they actually start, you can use those filters to slice and dice as you need to. These are really, really powerful filters. So definitely come in, take a look at these and see how they're going to be able to benefit you to take a look at these metrics. Cool. Okay, anything to add on that, Chris, before I move on to our future fees dashboard?
Future fees is all yours.
Yeah, or mine. Feel free to jump in and interrupt me like I just did to you. Sorry about that. So the next dashboard we're going to show you is our future fees. If you've been a long-time VINNY user, we used to call this deferred fees, and we've recently updated it to future fees. Now, what this is showing you is you've made a placement, but it may be a contract, it may be a temp, or it may be a retained role, and you're going to be collecting that revenue or recognizing that revenue throughout the length of that placement. So, if it's a perm role, it's all going to sit and you're invoicing that month, it's going to sit in, the next available column. So what we're looking here is a fees or a profit. You can do it across bill, you can do it across pay as well. This is showing you a calendar of all of the months that you're expecting revenue to be hit based on the current placements that you've made. So essentially your forward order book. This says that, if you weren't to make another placement, when are you going to run out of money? Again, you can hover over here to get an overview of that information. We try to give you a minimal click system as possible, and you can toggle these on and toggle off if you wanted to just see certain aspects of where that revenue is being generated. Again, if you're not a visual learner and you want to have it in a nice, easy graph, we've got the information down here for you. So by month, you can see how many people you're working in a temp role, in a contract role, and how many perm starters you have across any retainers that you've got coming in, and what revenue is being generated to each of those job types. So again, filter it down by team, by consultant. It's a really great way for the consultants to, take ownership of their desk and see what's coming in and how far in advance they've got revenue coming in to their from their placements.
Lose the spreadsheets and go straight into this.
Put it in source of truth, put it into VINNY.
Yeah.
So we scroll down here, and what we're then looking at is the expected variance of temps and contractors. Again, this is breaking down how many you've got starting that month compared to how many you've got finishing. So an extension of that job flow, but putting it on a temp or a contract desk. So make sure that the amount of people that you've got finishing, you're replenishing that with more people that you've got starting. And again, what that looks like in a variance for numbers, but also revenue in this dashboard at the bottom here. We then go into your variances drill down. What this dashboard is showing you is actually all of those placements that have been made and when, for which company, in which capacity, and what type they are, and who's looking after that particular role, start dates, end dates, and where they're currently at with it, and the initial fee. So again, a one-stop shop just to get all that information that you need for your contract book, to keep an eye on it, and essentially get on the front foot with people that you've got finishing, so you know what's going on your desk, and you've got a lot more visibility to make sure that you're replenishing as you need to. We then give you your future fee data. Now, what this dashboard is showing you here is actually, what's due to come. So I can see all of my placements, whether they're a perm or a contract, and what month we're going to be recognizing that revenue. So we do it from, shortest through to longest. So if I scroll down here, I can see that all of these permanent placements, I'm due to expect this revenue this month. We then go into our contract roles, and we can see that we're expecting revenue this much this month, and then this much next month, based on the hours that we have placed them to work. And we go down the list, and again, you can see month by month how much revenue we are due to expect. So a really great breakdown if you are very numbers driven, to see, okay, for the future, what are we expecting if nothing were to change from our contract book just now. We then go into our final tab on this future fees dashboard, which is our health check. And this is just making sure that we are continuously, that revenue that we're expecting is growing, basically, and where that's coming from, making sure if it's a temp or a contract split, if there's perm people that are starting, and that's when we're bringing in the revenue, what that looks like, and just having that visibility moving forward, either at an individual or a contract level, to make sure that we know what's going on in our contract book. All right, all of that information sits through on here. Chris, anything to add before we move on to our third and final dashboard today?
No, I'm ready to jump straight into actual fees tab to run through for you guys.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, the final dashboard that we're going to cover is our actual fees here.
Cool. So from the actual fees tab, guys, from here you can get an overview of your invoices. This dashboard only shows you invoices that are approved or sent statuses. You can filter the views to see your fees / profit or sales invoice or purchase invoice across the top of the page. You also see a number of key data fields and comparisons over the time period. So again, you get to see, if you hover across, you see your this month, last month, previous month, 3 months ago, and 1 year ago. If you hover down, you'll see then the sales invoice cumulative. This chart demonstrates the monthly cumulative invoice totals, again, split by job type. If you again hover across there, Amy, thanks for that, you can see the breakdown of it all from there. Below the cumulative chart, we have the credit invoices graph. So this shows the monthly invoice figures for any credits which have been applied from the business. And then at the bottom of the actual fees page is a table outlining the invoice information across perm, temp, and contract desks, including credit information on a monthly basis. So that's the first tab in actual fees. Up the top, we have 4 tabs that we can play around with. The second one we're going to go into is the finance tab. In the finance tab, this is your CFO's, head of finance, finance manager's dream tab, right? Because they can come in here and they can see all the placements, everything's in numbered, right? So see all the placements, the split, whether it's perm, contract, temp, their starters, finishers, and net. And then if you go, you can have a look at the timesheeting piece. You can see which ones have been approved, submitted, unsubmitted, some that are in draft, some that are in sent, and again, invoices as well. So it breaks down all your invoices from sales to purchase to credit, and then breaks the accounts receivable and payable, and then invoices paid as well. Down the bottom, you've got your 3 blocks down there. You've got your starters for the week, month, day, quarter, next quarter. Finishers, again, same format there. And then your aged receivables will sit in that last box down the bottom there.
So all of this information is being pulled through. Obviously, the placements are coming from the front office. The rest of the information is being pulled through if you're utilizing the Vincere Pay and Bill function. So we're able to then capture the time from those placements that you've got out using the Vincere timesheets, and then utilizing the invoicing feature inside Vincere as well. So if you're not using that inside Vincere, this dashboard isn't going to make a whole lot of sense for you because you're collecting the time elsewhere. But if you do run a contract or a temp desk, I would definitely take a look at the timesheeting module that Vincere can offer to you, because that means that everything's going to sit inside Vincere for your one source of truth, and then you'll be able to manage everything from the one platform and just make it a lot easier for you to see what's going on inside the business from your one intelligence suite here. So let's go into our third tab, which is by consultant. Chris, if you wanted to take that.
Yeah, cool. So by consultant is as it says, right? So each one of your consultants that's working for your business, what you want to be able to see what their billings are on a month-to-month basis, right? You can see that in here. You can see their fees and their profit. So it breaks it all down in total, and then it goes from month to month from there. If you just want to scroll down, you'll just see the list of all your consultants within the business. If you clicked into the sales invoices tab for us, Amy, it tells you the actual invoices that have gone through as sales invoices, and then purchase invoices as well. So if you look on the top right-hand corner, you can either view this in a monthly view or a weekly view or a quarterly view. Cool. And then the last tab for the actual fees is the fee splits. So fee splits is across the roles that your consultants are working on. You'll be able to see here the contact name, the job name, the company name, the invoice date, and what the fee will be, and what the fee source is. And then you'll be able to see the split there as it's split across your consultants who are both, if you have a split with 2 consultants working on a role. So that will break that down for you there as well.
Yeah, so what we've done here is try and make it a little bit easier for you to work out those comms payments for all of your consultants to, have that split off the bat. Of course, these splits are coming through from that placement report. So being able to put on, who is getting what chunk, either on a percentage or a numerical value of each of those placements. And then once you recognize that invoice inside Vincere, that comes through onto the actual fees so that you can see, then run your commission reports and who has earned what. So all of that sits in the actual fees. And to see if we've got any questions coming through to that. Nick, can you filter that report? Yes, you absolutely can. So on the filters here, you've got the filters to go down by a particular consultant or a particular team over a certain time period. In terms of those sticky filters, what we'll do is we'll send you some information with the cheat sheet with this recording so that you can see the best way to manage your team or your individuals to show what's coming up for yourself. So you can have those inside the system nice and easily for you and your team. Okay. So, like I said, quick 20-25 minutes. If you've got any questions, do send them through to the chat now. And what we're going to do is just pop up another quick poll for you just to see, get some feedback on how you found this session. We're running the webinars on a bi-weekly schedule now. So if there's anything that you do want to see as well, let us know and we can, put something in the calendar for you. But I really hope that you found today's session useful. If there are any questions, send them through. I can see Lynn is typing furiously away. Like I said, this has been recorded, so anything that we can't answer will be sent out with the recording once that's downloaded for you today. But yeah, I mean, that's it. That's everything I wanted to do. Didn't want to take up too much of your time on this lovely Wednesday afternoon. So if there's no more questions coming through, we'll leave that with you for today. Our help center is available on a 24/6 basis. So if you do come off today's call and have some questions straight away, go through to support@vincere.io or through the help center in your Vincere dashboard. But let's leave it there for today. Thanks guys.
So much, guys, for joining. Appreciate it. Stay safe.
Have a great afternoon. Stay safe. Hope you're not all climbing the walls if you're in lockdown, and speak to you soon. Cheers, guys. See you later.
Bye, guys.